Hello everybody, this is Starman and welcome back to Let's Play the Pandora Directive. Well, last time you remember we got to Roswell only to decide maybe we should go back and tell Archie to go into hiding and then return to Roswell, which is where we are now. As you can see, this office is somewhat trashed. They apparently cleared this place out in a hurry. So let's start with that very conspicuous trash can.
Oh, someone went a little crazy with the paper puncher. Whatever was written on this paper has been punched out.
And of course, these are clearly connected. And that does in fact look like a code that we need to put together. And that looks like the rest of it. So yeah, I mentioned before that the puzzle with the map and the box is widely considered to be the most difficult puzzle in the game. For my money, this one is the most annoying because take a look at it and you'll see there's a lot of places where this could fit but doesn't quite, and you do have to in fact narrate all this, thankfully, when you rotate this. Now, when you get something into the right place, it will magically click into place, but there's a lot of these pieces, you'll note, that are very similar, where it looks like it might work, but not. And you kind of have to have some idea of what the number is in the first place. So you can see we've got a 4 starting here. And you got, well, that could be a 9, but that part doesn't curve around, and that might be where a 3 would go. And I don't think there's any way to get this done in time, because there are in fact 2 1s in this code, and you'd think that would fit, but it doesn't, because that one goes here, and we've got the tops of the ones here, and that one does not fit there, but it does in fact go over here, even though it looks like it should fit there. Okay, and that's a 5, so we need to have that there. And yeah, we are totally blurring the points now. Okay, there's 9. And that's a 2 in the middle. Okay, yeah, that's the end of the 9, not part of a 2. Okay, well, I did manage to just get that done in 2 minutes, and you don't have to mess with the blank pieces. So I got a few points out of that. Alright, so we have a code 5142931.
Chair looks like it's got a serious case of dry rot.
Well, dry rot is as dry rot does. And if anybody gets where that reference is from, I will be very suitably impressed.
Let's see if there's anything interesting in these drawers.
Well, not in that one.
Nothing to find here. Let's see if there's any...
There's something.
I've seen these things before, in war movies. What'd they call it? Walkie-talkie.
Yeah, this is probably one of the few instances where this game was prophetic of the future. I know they still use walkie-talkies today, but I think they're being slowly replaced by cell phone apps that will do the same thing.
Phone's probably no longer hooked up to people in this galaxy. Halogen lamp's busted. It's like a map of the surrounding area. The back door's still on its hinges. It's like a map of the surrounding area. Oh, it's an emergency procedures handbook. This may shed some light on something.
Yeah, I don't know what use this will be, but we're going to grab it just so we can look at it. And speaking of which... Hey, batteries.
It's hard to believe this battery still has juice in it. Man, they don't make things like they used to. Question is, how much life has this thing got left in it? Probably not much.
Alright, well, check the emergency procedures handbook and flip it open to bunker. The bunker shall remain closed at all times unless there is a true emergency. In case of dangerous conditions at the base, the Calaxian Tower will sound the emergency warning, and the bunker door will open. When the door is shut, the room will be sealed from all environmental and biological contaminants. Good to know.
The sun's faded this photograph. Still looks pretty good, though.
I'll say.
Well, what have we got here? A box of matches.
Flash-o-matic. Alright, so now we're well equipped if we do need to burn anything.
Nightstand looks like high-quality plywood construction. And what's this little item?
A security card. Level 2 security clearance, Lieutenant Joe Bob Oversby. Kind of hard to tell with that font.
Nice beds. The ultimate in prison decor.
And hey...
When are people going to learn that if you want to hide something, don't hide it under a mattress?
Hey, be grateful that people are so cliche, Tex. It's the only thing that's saved us many times. Laser field diagram. Okay. Now, we are, in fact, going to need this in a bit. But this is another annoying little logic puzzle that's not that logical. It says, you can see, use the laser field grid, laser field deactivator. Step 2, use the 9 sectors. Cross 9 sector shade in red in 4 movements that are either horizontal, vertical, or diagonal. You cannot re-enter a sector that has been previously crossed. To accomplish this, place the deactivator controller in section, and then, of course, it's cut off. And we have decode sequence alpha here on the one side.
Good thing the sign is here, or I wouldn't know what this door is for. Calendar's 20 years old. There must be some trick to getting this door open. I'll just have to find out what it is.
Well, it said when the Calaxian sounds.
Well, that doesn't tell me too much.
Decontamination room. Rules and procedures. Rules and procedures booklet.
The rifles are locked securely into place. And they look too damaged to be useful anyway.
Yeah, continuing the trend of how in the later Tex Murphy games, you don't get a gun, you don't need a gun.
Nothing to find.
And nothing in there.
Locker doors are in good shape. Locker door. Locker door.
And hey.
How nice. I can always use an extra key.
Alright, Roswell padlock key. There's something on the... I thought there was something on the inside of that locker door, but...
Looks like the same locker I used at Sternwood Junior High.
Alright, well, I think we have looted this room. So let's head on outside. And yeah, very wooden look to the interior from here.
That's a guardhouse. It's a power switch. Must be important being this close to the door. Well, the country around this facility is pretty desolate.
And And when we get right next to it, it becomes downright weird. 1990s rendered graphics.
The shed door won't open. Shovel? I guess you never know. I might have to dig my way out.
And it is, in fact, a shovel.
Those supply boxes look empty. That box looks like it's empty.
But it's not a supply box. And we move that, and
This piece looks like it was once connected to the cable above it.
yeah, this part is kind of weird if you're not looking for it, because that brown blends in so well with the everything else from this angle.
This piece of electrical cable appears to be broken off.
And what is that? Well, that would be the Calaxian Tower. So we could probably use that to sound an alarm. And it's a shoelace!
It's a fuse.
Oh.
It's a good thing to have when you're working with explosives.
We have a fuse?
Fuses always come in handy when working with explosives. Allows me to keep my distance.
And we have matches. I suspect we are going to need to blow something up at some point.
This door has a padlock on it.
Hey, how fortuitous. I have a padlock key. And here we have the second shed of Arthur Two Sheds Johnson. Yeah, I'm going all obscure on the reference humor this time.
That's a toolbox. Still in good shape.
Alright, in the toolbox we find... wire stripper.
These wire strippers seem to be in pretty good shape.
Alas, this is the one stripper in the game.
This flashlight looks like it could put out quite a beam of light. Something's wrong with this thing. There's no light coming out of it.
As if there weren't any batteries in it? And now we have a live flashlight. Which I think is only included for the sake of inspiring that whole X-Files vibe to this story. Because you need to have a big, powerful mag light if you're doing an X-Files story.
Well, I guess that just about says it all, doesn't it?
Yep, laser field, authorized personnel only.
Well, that won't work.
Okay, apparently, yeah, we don't need the card for that. But let's go ahead and examine. Look at this. And let's try that code we got. 42931. Hey, hey! And that took away the security card. And behold, a laser field. And yes, we can die if we go into the beam, so we're not going to do that. At least not intentionally.
This is probably the control system for the laser field.
Brilliant, Holmes! Alright, well, let's see. Now, the sequence on the paper was Alpha. And this is, of course, another one of these famed logic puzzles. The trick on this one is that they don't tell you that you can draw the points. It doesn't have to be from one box to the other. So the trick is that we're supposed to try and traverse the upper left square of 3 by 3 and do it in only 4 moves. And you think that might be something like that to that, that to that, that to that, and that to that. Except they don't... what you're supposed to do is go through every square, not just find a pathway in 4 moves. So the trick is you start in the first corner and then do a diagonal there, and then draw across to there, and then do another diagonal there. Of course, that crosses the field. So what we actually need to do is go from there to there, go from there to there, go from there to there. So that's going to cross into, and then go up that way. And this will clear a path for us. You know, stick to the blue lasers only. And yeah, the red lasers do not become any less lethal. And if you get too close to the wall here, you will get killed by doing that. And I'm not intentionally going to do that.
Electrical wire. That could come in handy.
Yeah, just might at that. Okay, well,
These wire strips.
go ahead and strip the wire. Yes, take it off, you naughty little wire. Well, that leaves us with a lot of cable.
That's got to be the entrance to the main Roswell facility. There's no visible way to open this from out here. Must have been operated by security personnel inside. I'll have to think about this.
Okay. Well, as you might have guessed, we need to get into the bunker. And to do that, we need to fix the Klaxion. Luckily, so now we have that wire fixed. So now we can pull the switch. And we get a nice little siren noise, but also let's see. X-rations. X-rations, more X-rations. Radioactive chemicals.
These barrels are filled with the kind of stuff that makes you glow in the dark. These boxes are empty. Wonder what they're doing here.
Taking up space and giving us something to waste time looking at?
Well, where else would you store your empty storage boxes than in a storage room?
What's that one say? Oh yeah, extra rations. Well, it's obvious from down here that there's a hidden panel.
Huh. Special hiding place built right into the floor.
We look into this and see Box O Bang Dynamite.
Dynamite. I wonder if it's any good.
Alright, we'll look at the dynamite box and find there is in fact some dynamite inside of it. Well, I don't think you have to be a detective to figure out what we're doing next. But this does bring to mind the fact that even though this is the shortest day in the game, I think it may offer you the most unique opportunities to kill yourself doing something stupid. Because we have the laser grid here, And we've got the doorway over there. And it is, in fact, a timed puzzle, because, as you may have gathered, we need to use our dynamite to go through that door over there. And then we have to race through the laser grid in the time allotted to get back to the bunker before it blows up, because if we're too close, we will be caught in the explosion and die. It's a bit of a risky proposition, which is why we are going to cheat. Well, not really cheat so much as we are going to work smarter, not harder. Because we can still see the doorway, even with the laser grid between us and here. We just have to find the right vantage point to do so. And yeah, the lasers will block it, but I can still make out the door.
That's got to be the entrance to the main Roswell facility.
So what we're going to do is we're going to combine our fuse and our dynamite. We're going to take a quick look at that, just in case we get points for it. We don't. So then we're going to combine our matchbox and our dynamite. And oh, just for the heck of it. Yep, it is in fact lit. So now we will use that with the door from here.
I'd better get as far away from here as possible.
Now you might think that we're supposed to run all the way back to the bunker. And if we do that from here, we can in fact do that pretty easily. Except I deliberately did not run all the way over there because there's no point. As long as you're outside of the laser field area, you're good to go. And from here we can see...
That tunnel goes right into the hillside.
Yep, it is in fact completely and totally opened up now. Well, not completely opened.
I'm gonna have to get closer.
Yeah, they thought about you trying to open the door from here, but not using the dynamite from here. And carefully around the corner.
Looks like the blast took enough of the door off for me to get inside.
Well, no, it didn't quite. We still have to open the door. So yeah, as I said, this is a bit of a short day. And so we jump into day 7, Shadows in the Dark.
Whoa, what hit me? Must have been a pocket of gas by the door.
Okay, now we're going to go ahead and save our game here, because we do not have time to waste now that we're inside the complex for the moment. Because you'll remember, the report said that there was something bad and nasty that started killing people after they opened a containment unit. It's going to wake up.
This barrel still has some diesel fuel inside.
Alright.
I think that's part of...
Yes, that is in fact part of a welding torch. But there's not much we can do in here at the moment yet.
What's this? It appears these doors have been welded shut. Why would they do that? Looks like the weld is starting to crack a bit, though.
Maybe they welded it because they were trying to keep something in or out. At any rate, we happen to have a handy key. Alright, yeah, something bad definitely happened in here.
That's a disc. What little secrets are recorded on this baby? The weapons don't appear to be in usable condition.
Alright, well, we've got a disc. We need something to play it with, and oh, good lord.
Oh, the body is distorted and the facial features are twisted. What the hell created this kind of terror? Chairs are scattered everywhere. Looks like everyone was in a panic. I'll bet they tried to hide behind these, but it didn't do any good.
Well, yeah, that's
Got
a
'em
small
anyway.
3-foot-high trash can. That wouldn't do you any good.
These boxes were probably used as barricades.
Yep. Something's a-coming.
Uh-oh. The hair on the back of my neck's standing up. Something's headed my way. This drawer's locked. Cabinets were probably...
Hey, one of these we can actually open.
It's really...
Roll of duct tape. Always useful. And not just in adventure games. Oh, too many doors. Yes, thankfully, Tex has the superpower of being able to look at a cabinet and tell if it's locked or not.
These boxes... Somebody stuffed their CD player in here.
Well, that looks like a little bit more than a CD player, but let's see what's on the CD.
Bastards have locked us in, and it's killing everyone. It's attracted to heat or energy. It seems to suck the life right out of everyone it gets on top of. When it takes in energy, it seems to go through a semi-dormant state when it might be vulnerable. The only way to stop it, maybe to trap it in a containment pod. No one here knows how to operate it. The last left. I don't want to die.
Aw, man, it's a bug hunt, man. Game over, man. Game over. Yeah, that's...
Oh, that emerald-colored slime must be the source of the nauseating smell in here.
I riff, but that is very much the situation that we're in at the moment.
This charred corpse appears to have had the flesh burned and seared off the body.
Yeah. That's what awaits us if we don't figure out some way to deal with the alien menace in a hurry.
It's someone's ID badge. Oh, it's just out of reach.
Yeah, we're gonna need a stick or something. I thought there was a locker or something around here somewhere. And
That doesn't seem to do anything.
yeah, unfortunately, the flashlight cannot be used.
The lockers have sustained a truckload of damage.
Let's see, I thought there was one of these that would open. Not so much from the look of it. Okay. Containment unit. Yeah, I can see why they had no idea how to use this. This does look pretty complicated. Thankfully...
This scrap refers to some sort of containment chamber with instructions on how to open it.
Alright, we now have an open containment unit, but we need something that'll be a more attractive source of energy than us. I don't think that the stove in the mess hall is going to be appropriate means toward that end.
Well, someone left some cookware behind.
Yes, all the stuff they didn't leave behind when they were evacuating this place, and yet they left that here. And shockingly, the stove still gets power.
Ooh, an ice pick. Nothing to find here.
Yes, they cleaned the fridge out.
Nothing to...
And the rest of the cupboards are bare.
Nothing to find here.
And it's coming through the vents.
Whatever's after me is getting very, very close.
Okay, so I'm not going to make a show of opening up all the cabinets at the moment, because I do know where we're going with this. Although figuring this out requires quite a bit of trial and error, as you can imagine. Hence why I saved earlier. But I'm going to try and get this in one go. So what we need to do is we need to get some fuel. The ice pick is the perfect means toward that.
Well?
Okay, we now have a pot full of diesel fuel. Unfortunately, diesel fuel tends to congeal very quickly unless it's kept warm. So the reason I turned the burner on is because you are in fact going to need to heat this fuel up. Okay, we now have slightly more liquid fuel. And you note that travel is not an option, so we can't just, you know, quick jump between rooms.
Case appears to be made of plastic.
Typical detective, always looking for a case. And this gives us an acetylene torch cutting tip.
Cardboard boxes are all empty.
And quite a bit of junk on this shelf.
A box of industrial strength spark plugs. That's just an old toolbox.
Just
Hey,
an
that's the same
old
model my
toolbox?
accountant had. When I had an accountant, or money for that matter.
Just an old toolbox?
Looks like Fred Flintstone's bowling ball. Looks like an exhaust hose for a dryer. These pipes don't look like that.
Okay, and then this corner, generator room. just what we need, of course, to...
Great, an oxygen tank. I'll know where to go if I start to hyperventilate.
And of course we take the whole box of spark plugs just to get a single spark plug. Very wasteful.
Well, these wire cutters look like they haven't been used in a long time.
And they haven't. Okay, so here we have a generator.
That's a fuel cap for the generator.
Okay, we'll move that. We'll use our liquefied fuel on that.
Oh, that's handy. It's the access door. Something's missing from the cylinder head.
Like a spark plug. Let's see, contact position, press to ready charge, press to open.
There's no readable description on the button. Must be the generator power switch. The description for this button.
Well, that's convenient.
It's a fuel prime. That's got it going.
All right. And we'll just step out in the hallway and go ahead and save here real quick. Just in case I'm not being quite as clever as I think I am. And yep.
Well, I sure hope that thing is resting from consuming the energy out of the generator.
Alright, and where did it... Yeah, it went to the bottom of my inventory. So we'll go ahead and put that out there. Light is green, the trap is clean.
This beast must be a back...
Okay. And you'll note that the travel button is now highlighted on our command console. So we can now safely leave the complex and travel around at our leisure. And we actually now have a nice little map for going around the complex. And we got an elevator here, of course. But we will save further exploration for next time. I think busting into Roswell and taking down an alien is a pretty good day's work for this chapter. So next time, we will continue exploring the Roswell base. We'll see you then.